NorCal Tea Party Radio is sponsored by Del Rapini. Del has been involved with the Tea Party since April of 2009. A retired developer, Del has a passion to serve and restore his country to her fundamental principles. This is just one way that he has chosen to accomplish his goal. Each month we need sponsors to offset the cost of this program. For information on how you can become a sponsor, go to norcalteaparty.org.
We are strong and standing tall, upholding the Constitution.
Welcome back to We the People Radio, NorCal Tea Party on KTKZ 1380 Radio. Thank you for joining us back again with the group that I am the most proud of, the Board of Directors of the Tea Party. And they are just an amazing group of committed volunteers, small business people, some retired, others just hardworking American citizens that are here to try to restore our state and our nation. Our next guest is going to be Stuart Dodge. Stuart has really found his niche in community outreach. There isn't anyone this guy can't talk to or doesn't want to talk to. And he has the ability to be able to put a human face on the NorCal Tea Party so that people realize that we really are just like them, just normal American people. Welcome, Stu.
Thank you, Ginny.
Now, tell us a little bit about your heartthrob and how you handle this community outreach.
Well, Ginny, let me, I'd like to address first the issue about the resignations, because I've been getting a lot of feedback from my committee. And I found that those who are having the most difficult issues with this are those who were invested in individuals or groups rather than in our principles. And what we need to do is all need to recognize that our principles is where our investment is. People go away, groups go away. And when you go to a polling place, you're not going to have a group of people standing with you or Jenny Beth or Mark Mickler looking over your shoulder. You're in there by yourself. And so that's when you think principles. And our principles are so important to us because they are the basis of our entire group and of what's happening in the country right now.
Remind us what those are.
Yeah, limited government according to the Constitution, free markets, and
fiscal
responsibility.
One of those Rick Perry moments.
Yeah, I did. I had one. So it happens once in a while. But, you just got to remember that those are the values that we need to stick with, and we cannot depend on any one person or group because they come and go, but the values stay forever.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us what you do on your education committee and your community outreach with that committee.
Well, we're doing a lot of things. One of the things I do right now is I get into a fifth grade classroom once a week and teach them the Constitution and the U.S. history.
Now, are you a teacher? Do you have formal teaching education?
No. I'm a citizen educator is what I call myself. And I'm invited into the classroom as a guest speaker. And it kind of relieves the teachers, gives the teachers some time to work on other things. And I tell you what, working with those children is just such a blessing. You can't believe it. It is just so much fun. It's
What
great.
happens when you teach them about the economy?
Oh, they get it. I'm teaching them from a curriculum that's National Center for Constitutional Studies. It's from there, and it's based pretty much for 16-year-olds. But I'm teaching it to 10-year-olds, and they get this stuff. When you challenge them, they actually understand how this thing works. And we do exercises so they understand capitalism and free enterprise and communism. When communism comes into play, how it destroys people, destroys governments, and so and they really understand it. It's so much fun to watch them. So.
Have you had any pushback from any of the parents?
No, not yet. I
don't mention the school.
Yeah, well, they don't take any of the materials I hand out home with them. It all stays in the school and in their desks, and they do challenge their parents, though. They have told me that they go home and they talk to their parents about the stuff, and they'll come back and say, my dad did not know about this.
Wow.
And so that's awesome. That's fun. The other, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, okay, now tell us what you do to get a human face put on the NorCal Tea Party. What do you do?
Well, most of it is eye-to-eye contact. It is so important to get out and meet people face to face. You can send out emails and they can go on your website, but until they actually meet you personally, that's that contact that needs to be there. And by setting up information booths around the cities at farmers markets and at in front of grocery stores and places like that, and fairgrounds and those places, they get to see who you are, and they get the chance to talk to you and see that you are one of them. Mm-hmm. And you're not what they're hearing in the news, because the first thing they want to ask is, are you guys really what they say you are? Mm-hmm. And we're just, we are grassroots, and that's the common folk. That's what we are.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you so much, Stuart. And
my
now
pleasure.
I want to talk to Lawrence Crane. Lawrence Crane handles all of our event productions. He also works very closely with our webmaster and is somewhat of a webmaster himself. Anytime I have a problem with my computer, who do I call? Lawrence. Welcome, Lawrence.
Thank you, Jenny.
Why don't you tell us about what you have as a vision for us as we move forward, and then tell them about our website.
Okay, well, first off, I think we haven't been very good stewards of our own liberty. And as a business person, I've kind of looked at it and came to mind that here we are, kind of absentee citizens, and we're all owners of our freedom. And every 2 years, as owners, we go and we hire people to represent us. And so we hire these folks and we send them to Washington, and then we disappear, and we come back 4 years later, and we wonder what went wrong and why the outcomes didn't come out the way we thought. And it's because as owners, we weren't there to show them and express what freedoms and laws that we wanted to be in place that protected us. And so it would be like a businessman hiring a crew and then going on vacation for 2 years and coming back and wonder what happened to his business. And I just think we need to get more involved and more protective of what our rights are, and that's just staying in tune with what's going on in Washington, D.C. and our local government.
So tell us about our website.
Well, our website's fairly new. We've had a great change in it recently, and it looks great. Has a lot of content on it. You can find all sorts of information that you would need to how to get involved. So it's always, we try to keep it fresh and try to keep the date books all up to date. But of course, it is a big time-consuming monster that we try to control.
And everybody that is doing this is a volunteer. I want to reiterate that. We have several co-webmasters that are working on this, and it's their job daily to go on that website and keep everything current and up to date and correct. We also help other groups passing out information for them as well. One of the important things that we want to do with this is to also have action alerts on that website, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, we're looking especially for the bus tour and the big rallies and stuff. We want to have it interactive to the point where people can have a pretty close timeline of what's actually going on the ground with the bus tour. And you mentioned the rally, and I just wanted to make a point that we just had our anniversary rally, and I don't think any of it hit the news.
Well, it didn't because of all the other ruckus.
Right. And so if you're not throwing stones or throwing paint on police officers, the media doesn't pay attention. And I just think it goes to show how important it is for all the regional groups to come together on big rally days and show a big show of force and numbers, because that's the only way we're going to be recognized, is if we all come together. Instead of dispersing our powers between small little rallies within the little towns, it's getting them together into one big impression that the media can't ignore.
Right. Even though we had total media coverage, I was interviewed and we had the TV cameras were there the entire time, but because of that other ruckus, we didn't ever get any, although we did get a couple seconds at the end of the 6 o'clock news on Channel 3, so we will have to say that. You know, I always say how fast this time goes by, and I can't believe this time has gone by. If you want to know the information about all of our events, about all of our rallies, the bus tour, go to our website at norcalteaparty.com. That's norcalteaparty.com. And next week, we will be discussing voter fraud and how we can contain that and even eliminate that in our areas and our districts. I thank you for listening to us. Have a wonderful day. Greetings from NorCal Tea Party.
Go gather, kid, reunite, join the revolution. We are strong and standing tall, upholding the Constitution.
How to get involved? Individuals who want to become part of the NorCal Tea Party Patriots by attending meetings, events, or receiving action alerts, go to our website at norcalteapartypatriots.org. By signing in as a member, you'll receive our newsletter and action alerts. So get involved. NorcalTeaPartyPatriots.org.